Welcome back to the trail, everyone. We are beginning our hike at Trailhead 8 today. All right, I've got friends hiking with me this morning. The goal for today is to hike 10 miles. We started at mile marker 45. We're gonna go to mile marker 55. There is potential camping there. Over the next 3 days and 2 nights, we are going to hike sections 6, 7, and 8 of the Lonester Trail. So we're gonna hike the entire section 6 today, and then we're gonna camp in section 7. The 2 dogs I am hiking with are not mine. However, they live near the trail and are well known in this section. The cattle dog's name is Stogie, and the brown dog is Coco. It was a very cool experience hiking with them. All right, you see that blaze on the tree? It's a red blaze, which means we are not on the right trail. Yeah, I missed my turn, and it was about a mile back. I ended up getting on the 4-notch loop trail, which connects back to the Lonester Hiking Trail in about 5 miles. However, the goal is to hike the main trail, so I headed back. We're back on the main trail. Lots of burning going on to prevent forest fires. So this area was a little crazy, so you come down the path here, cross like on that log, then you can step up here, and then just kind of work your way around these trees. And we're back on trail. There's a lot going on here, huh? A lot going on there. I took a quick break here, mile 46.5. Okay, we made it to the first water source of section 6. This is a seasonal creek, so there won't always be water here. We did get some rain a few days ago, so this is Boswell Creek, the second water source of section 6. Our feet's gonna get a little wet, and that is totally fine. This creek, Boswell Creek, can be dangerous to cross after heavy rains, so just keep that in mind. I noticed that even after a short break, having a few snacks, and drinking water, I wasn't feeling the best and may need to change my plans. Hiking to mile 55 seemed really daunting. It was also humid, which meant I was losing more electrolytes and water than usual. This is Brandy Creek. This is the 4th water source. Closer to the mile 51 marker, the water looked a bit deeper and a bit better for collection. If you don't want to like use any of these water sources, if you're doing a through hike or a section hike, you can cache the water. They're enjoying it. As long as you filter it, maybe get some extra aqua tabs just to make sure it's clear. Change of plans. We are going to camp here. This is camp. We're gonna set up early. I am really tired, and there are water sources like 0.1 miles away, 0.3 miles away that way. Campsite I originally was gonna stay at didn't have water nearby like that. The closest water was like 3 miles in either direction. This is just better. We're gonna stay here. All right, so I'm getting some water from this pond, and this is what it looks like right now, but I'll show you what it looks like after we filter it. All right, we got 2 liters of water. That looks so much better than before we filtered it. And I have these aqua tabs, and it's 1 tablet for 2 liters. So I'm gonna just drop that in, and I believe I swish it for 10 minutes, and then I let it sit for 30. Good morning. It is 7:15 and I just finished eating breakfast. I have a cup of coffee and I'm slowly getting packed up. We're gonna grab more water from that pond on the way out. All right, camp is packed up, got my buddies. They are ready. I actually don't feel better. It's almost 9 o'clock. I just sat around at camp until I felt better and able to move. Not exactly sure what's happening or what's going on, but I'm just gonna get to the pond and collect more water. Might be dehydrated. There's also a registry here. I'm gonna do that real quick. I was indeed dehydrated, so I made the decision to leave trail and contacted my trail angel when I reached Forest Service Road 200. This is along the Forest Service Road. There's flowing water there, and this is one of the water sources. We're gonna re-enter the woods here. And we are officially leaving section 6 and entering section 7, the Bigwood section. All right, and we're headed to Trailhead 9. What's up, y'all? So the plan for today is to get to Trailhead 9. I'm doing a slack pack today, and then I'm gonna stay at an Airbnb. One of the trail angels out here has an Airbnb. I'm gonna stay there, and then we're gonna shuttle my car to Trailhead 15 tomorrow morning. I will begin at Trailhead 10, and then I will finish my section hike. So pretty excited to finish the whole trail. I'll finish up by Sunday the 22nd. Today is Thursday the 19th. Section 7 does not have a lot of water sources that are reliable. There are some creeks, things like that, that are intermittent and seasonal. So we'll see what we can find. There's at least one reliable source close to like mile 58 or 59. So we are around, I believe it's mile marker 55 will be the next one that we come to. Since I'm doing a slack pack, I have about 3.5 liters of water, snacks, and that's pretty much it. I brought a book, the Lone Star book, a few other items like first aid kit. I don't have my tent or my sleeping kit, so I'm hoping to finish by like 2 or 3 o'clock at the latest. Got my mosquito net on. Not for mosquitoes, but because of all the spider webs. Six miles in for the day so far. I just passed the mile 57 marker. Decided to take a break really quick, and I had a Snickers, and I got my shoes off, letting my feet dry. And I'll probably stay here another 10-15 minutes, and then I'll head out. I'm just here on my tent footprint chilling. Good little camping spot right there. That whole little area if you needed to, or if you had a group. Yeah, this section has some pretty good like camping spots. I got a little turned around, but I found my way back. I wasn't far off the trail at all, but there was like one of those pink ties on the tree that was like out there, not along the trail, so I went to that. But I made it back, so we're back on the trail. The trail is so well marked that like as soon as you notice there's no blazes or that the trail doesn't look like this, you know that you're off trail. So that's a great thing about the Lone Star Hiking Trail. I believe we are going south, so that way. And look, there's a bend. All right, this little sign is for the pond, and this is going to be the most reliable water source in Section 7. I recommend filtering and treating this pond water, of course. I'm not going to grab any water. I'm just going to show it to y'all. I still have plenty of water left. So let's see what it looks like. All right, then we'll see another sign that says pond. Okay, yeah, I can see it. Looks great. Yeah, okay. It's gonna be a little muddy, of course, as you get in there, but yeah. Most reliable water source. Mile 58.6. Lots of spider webs across the trail. We're gonna take a break again. I just need to cool down. Okay, so we've got tuna salad, crackers, and some olives. At mile 60.4. I know this is dry currently, but imagine if there were water in here. It's such a huge drainage. That caffeine gave me just the boost I needed to finish up the last 3 miles of Section 7. We are about half a mile from Trailhead 9, and we'll be done with Section 7. Section 8 begins with a road walk along Iridinson Road. I will skip about 2.2 miles of road walking this time and begin across from Evergreen Baptist Church tomorrow. There are some dogs that will bark at you along this road walk, so just be aware of that. Good morning. I basically got dropped off across the street from Evergreen Baptist Church, and we're starting our road walk from here until we re-enter the woods at Trailhead 10. I slept great last night at the Airbnb. It was a cute little RV trailer and it had everything I needed. And yeah, so I got really solid sleep, great breakfast, coffee. Yeah, I'm looking forward to put in 10 miles today. We are going to just past the Double Lake Recreation Area. So it's a primitive site along the trail. So I will show y'all that when we get there. I would say our first obstacle of the day is going to be crossing the San Jacinto River. The high today is 84 degrees. The low is 60. Feet hurt a little bit just because they were hurting pretty bad yesterday. But we'll just make sure we take breaks and put our feet up and probably take some Tylenol once we get to camp. If there's an issue crossing the San Jacinto River, there's a detour that we will take. So fingers crossed we can get across with no issues. There are 2 water sources that I'm going to locate while on the trail. They're the most reliable ones. Of course, there's streams that are intermittent, but I'm going to focus on the most reliable sources of water in this section. And we'll be finishing section 8 up today, entering section 9. See a magnolia up there. She's impressive. This is such a pretty little area. You can see some young pine trees here. And these look like young oaks. I'm not a professional, but that's what they look like. Okay. We're going to check out the primitive site. We are going to take a break here. We've gone about 3.8 miles so far, so almost 4. It's a good time to take a break. I'm using a cork ball in this video to roll out my feet and ankles and calves, and I highly recommend if you're going to be hiking a lot. It is 66 degrees currently, and we've got about 2.5 miles before we get to the East Fork of the San Jac River. I want to try to keep a consistent pace. I'm about 2 miles an hour normally. The goal is to get to the East Fork of the San Jacinto River by 11:30. It is 10:15 right now. There are some active signs of logging through this section. You'll see cut trees, stumps, and logging roads. Section 8 is called the Magnolia Section for a reason. You will see baby magnolias and large magnolias alongside the trail. Between miles 69.2 and 69.4, there are several creeks where you can get some water. Jacinto River. Okay, so it's not as deep as I thought it was gonna be. It looks like there's like a log jam down there, and that's where we're gonna cross at. There's a trail that leads over to that log jam. It's a little overgrown, but nothing too crazy. Yeah, I think we'll be able to make this. I'll see y'all on the other side. I made it to the other side safely. For reference, I'm 4'11". I'm short. This is what my shoes look like, pants look like after the crossing. I was able to throw some smaller logs right here because it's very slippery right there, very. And then I was able to step on the log here, the big one right here. And then because it was slippery and like I was scared I was gonna fall in the water, which I'm sure would have happened, I decided to brace myself along this other log here, like with my hands. My feet were on this middle log here, and I just I was able to get across. It was very challenging right there where you see that gap, but those logs stayed put and I was able to get up and on this side. The bank is really steep, I'm sure you can tell, but I was able to dig like 1, 2, 3, 4. I was able to dig 4 footholds. I was able to use those to pretty much climb up this side, use this piece of wood right there to pull myself up. And then I'm taking a breather now that I'm across. The water probably would have been up to like my waist. Got 4.5 miles to camp. I'm gonna take a break because I use a lot of energy right just then. Okay, this is a really nice stream where you can get water. I believe this is mile 71.6. Isn't that the best? And this is also a water source, so cute little waterfall, little water source. Awesome. Section 9, Big Creek.
Double Lake Recreation Area offers camping, restrooms, water spigots, and fishing. You can stay here for $20 a night.
So for dinner, I've got chili and rice. So it's in here, rehydrating. And then I'm gonna lay there with my feet up.
That is going to conclude this video. Please like and subscribe, and I'll see y'all in the next video where I continue my hike through Section 9 and finish the trail.